And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your
We are the last Americans. We are the last Americans. We are the last Americans.
Yo! What up, everybody? Welcome to the fucking show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're crazy.
Happy day, everybody. Happy day.
It is a happy hump day. I'm humping right now. Ugh.
Yeah, if you're
Oh, God,
watching
I
if
can't
you're
stop.
watching this live, it is hump day. And if you're not watching it live, then get on Patreon, you fuck.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, Patreon is, it helps us out. It helps support the show. We do take some time to look stuff up. We do some, gathering around and, behind the scenes. There's a lot to a podcast, right?
Yeah, there is. I mean, it takes time. It does take time. A lot more than you'd think, actually.
Dude, yeah. So anyway, I was getting ready this morning.
Ooh.
And then all of a sudden my phone alerts me that the House passed the bill to ban TikTok.
Oh, yeah. So they pretty much ended up doing the opposite of what the potential president was saying that we were saying.
Wait, say that again? I'm confused.
So last time,
Did a finger
last episode
wound
we
up my
were
asshole,
talking
so-
about how everyone was starting to flip on whether they wanted to ban it, right?
Well, so yes. Trump wanted to ban it. He's now saying that he doesn't want to ban it. But then it's like whatever Trump says,
Yeah.
like Joe Biden and the administration have to go against it, right?
Yeah.
But it's weird because the House is filled with a bunch of MAGA Republicans, right?
Yes and no. I think there are some, but I think a lot of them are still. I think there's some old school Republican guys still, a few, and then there's
Old
some
school as in a good old school or bad old school?
good old school kind of, and then there's like
Thomas Massey.
yeah, and then there's the MAGA Republicans, which
Yep.
you can most of the time those two groups kind of go together, and then
Exactly.
and then there's the rhinos that are. I think there's
Yeah.
a large portion of those.
Well, yeah, Thomas Massey. Who was it? Not Ron Paul, but his son. I forget his name, but they're both like kind of super libertarian.
Yeah.
They're stating like, if you do this, you're allowing the government to kind of go forth with like more banning. It's like a Trojan horse. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I did listen in. We kind of touched on this a lot on the last show and how like Crowder was talking about this. And, they're all for it, dude. They think that TikTok is like some China propaganda that's going to take your data, sell it to China. They're going to freaking make a clone of you. And then all of a sudden, you know what? No need for you anymore. We got 12,000 of you. But
Yeah.
I listened to him again today, and he had Vivek Ramaswamy. And I'm not a big fan of Ramaswamy. He's a fast talker. Sometimes he says things that I really do like. But overall, I just don't trust the guy. It's the same thing with just politicians. Like, it's very, very hard to gain my trust. But
Yeah, he does seem like sometimes he's just saying things because that's kind of what you want to hear.
well, and he's just almost too perfect. It's like, is this guy a fucking robot? Because he's like, well, hello there, Chris. I would like to talk to you about several things on my agenda today. I have number 1, TikTok is banned and it should be banned. But here's number 2. Maybe it shouldn't be. It's like, well,
Yeah.
dude, like, why are you so slick and smooth? Like, where does this come from? What up, Dave?
Yo,
Yo.
dude, you guys just started, right? 4
Yeah,
minutes ago.
yeah,
just a
I
while
was
ago.
close.
Yeah.
You were close.
So-
Dude, I fucking went fast.
Right on, dude.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on crack right now, dude.
Woo!
Well,
Yeah.
welcome to the discussion, crackhead.
Yeah, they actually
we were
they
just kinda-
officially
yeah,
just
we were just-
banned TikTok.
Yeah, the House has signed on to agree to ban it. It has to go to the Senate and then President Biden. But we were
Yeah.
kind of touching on this last
Yeah.
episode, and Vivek Ramaswamy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We said that he kind of switched his positioning on this because last year or 2 years ago, he was saying you should ban TikTok. Now he's not saying it.
Yeah.
And he was actually on the Steven Crowder show, and I liked a lot what he was saying.
Yeah.
So I will give him that. He was saying that we need to, the one threat that TikTok represents is that it allows 16 and unders to get on there and become kind of zombies and indoctrinated into like these
Yes.
weird ideas.
Yes, sir.
And the main threat is that you're getting like these propaganda, like you can easily infiltrate people's culture and their ideas through propaganda on TikTok. And they look at things and they go, oh, okay, yeah, I agree with these other countries except for my country.
Yeah. So when we mentioned that, I think the last show where they were talking about initially, especially with all social media, just putting a ban on like 16 and under being able to get on the app.
Yeah.
Without parent consent. You know what I'm saying? They have to do a certain thing. And I'm more for that than I am a full ban. Absolutely. Right.
I think there was actually something in this, if I seen it right, that it's either it's going to be, it'll be one of two scenarios, right? Where either they just ban it entirely or somebody buys it from the Chinese company.
We have to,
it has to be like an American represented type
but
of.
Did you see Nancy Pelosi when she was talking about it? She's like, this is not a ban on TikTok. Did you see that?
No.
Where she was shaking like this. She's like, this is not a ban on TikTok. This is for
and
them.
Her boobies were jiggling?
Well, they're pretty, she has a tight bra, so I don't think so. But she was saying, basically, she said that
those milkers.
The way she said it was the best, though. She said, it's not a ban on TikTok. We're trying to get them to do the right thing. And she said, Tic-Tac-Toe, do the right thing. That's what she said.
What the hell?
It was
what does that mean?
Dang, dude. She's like
I think I
4
saved
mini
it. Let me see if
bottles
I
of
saved
vodka
it.
in.
But no, listen.
I think I'm going to use that from now on. Just because
Tic-tac-toe,
it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, and what's funny is it was way worse than what I even described it as. So let me see if I didn't
But
save it.
dude, so like Vivek, just to like end this on Vivek for me.
Yeah.
He made another point because the main thing about like why they wanted to ban TikTok is that the company was selling the user data to China. And he made a good point that it's like, it doesn't just have to be through a company like themselves. Like they could offshore the data to a different company and then that company can sell China the data. And like Facebook does that already.
Yeah.
So
They all do something.
he's saying like
that.
banning the app itself.
They don't even hide it.
Whoa.
They don't even hide it anymore.
Whoa. Fucking TikTok is
Oh my
cranking.
dear Lord. Okay. I thought we were having a conversation.
No, we're
dude.
here,
What's-
dude. We're good. We're good.
How fucking rude.
I was going to tell you, I saw a guy who was talking about the ban on TikTok, and he was saying, and I haven't confirmed this, but he was like, it's fucking dumb because I guess they just spent like TikTok just spent like $1 billion plus, 1.5 billion ish to put like a facility, like I believe it's in Texas, to where they have all the data is going to Texas.
The Oracle database. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not saying that itself is foolproof either, but like they
were saying that it's not, dude. So, but that's the thing is like, it's the flow of data that they're trying to stop. It's not the app. And when you ban the app, that doesn't ban the flow of data.
Every single thing that we have can be breached. You know what I'm saying? And TikTok is no different. And it's not, like, yes, obviously China, but China could hack into, Samsung. They can hack into AT&T. Like if they want to get information, they can send a balloon. You know what I'm saying? Like they can do it. So it's not like TikTok is so we're just going to ban balloons or we're going to ban our phones.
Well, no,
yes.
Yeah, that's what Vivek Ramaswamy, that's what he was saying, dude. He's like, Joe, so like an example, Airbnb, they were selling off their data to China or something. It doesn't have to be like this app. You can be a company.
Yeah.
So it's like, are you going to stop all of these companies from selling data to China? And, it's like, no.
Well, at that point, why are we not just like admitting that we're at war with China and that we cease everything, right? No data, no goods, nothing.
Well, not only that, but like, what is the threat of them having the data? What are they going to do with it?
I mean, I think there's anytime that I don't know, man. I'm sure that they would argue that anytime they can steal your data, right? Like that's not a good thing because China, obviously, they not the greatest as far as, I don't know what they'd use it for, getting your account, wipe our accounts clean, I don't know. It's just dumb.
Well, so Airbnb gave all of their data to China because they were going to start having Airbnb be like a business in China.
Sure.
And so China was like, okay, well, what are your customer metrics here? Like who like buys Airbnbs? Like, well, who should we market to? That kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish I could have saw the Vivek thing on because I mean, listen, I heard when I was just getting here, I had to take my work shirt off and shit, but I was listening to what you were saying about Vivek and like, I don't distrust him per se, but like every politician, you have to like keep your eye on it, at all times. But yeah, he is smooth. I think he says a lot of great things. I think that a lot of what he says is great, but sure. I mean, the whole like,
well, this was a good one,
proper,
dude.
You know, I know, but I know what you're saying.
This was a really good showing on Crowder. You guys should, it's just like a 10-minute, maybe 15-minute segment.
Yeah.
Good.
Do you think that it's going to actually go through? I mean, I think Biden.
The banning of
it.
TikTok?
Yeah, I think Biden will definitely sign it off.
You think?
Why would it pass the Senate, though?
The Senate?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it just went through the House now. So now it's got to go to the Senate.
Yeah.
Before it even gets to Biden.
Yeah, Biden already said that he would ban it immediately.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, man. Why do you think it won't pass the Senate? I guess would be the better question.
I think that there's players in like the House and in the Senate that I don't know. That is a good question, like, because I feel like they want to funnel all the power through Facebook. So I could definitely seeing them like banning TikTok.
Yes. So that was one thing that was said, right? A lot of Republicans, even though Trump is the leader right now, technically, right, and a lot of Republicans are still in favor of banning it. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those same people are heavily invested with stock in Facebook. So by them banning it, Facebook would obviously grow more, right? Because there's no more TikTok. Well, there's no more TikTok.
Well, I don't know if that means Facebook would grow.
Well, let me put it this way. I'm on TikTok most of the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
More than Facebook, more than Twitter, right? If they're no longer even an option for me at all, hypothetically, then I will be on Facebook more. You know what I'm saying?
It's one of those things. Or you're going to YouTube Shorts.
Well,
You know what I mean? You're
that's
just
what
gonna
I'm
flip
saying.
through
Like
those.
if you're doing like the short form videos, why wouldn't you do YouTube Shorts or even
You would.
I guess Instagram is the same as Facebook. So I guess
Reels,
yeah.
I'm not saying it's like a guarantee, but I definitely think that I would be using these other apps more often if that app. Is no longer
that's
there.
true. That's true. I mean, it would
But,
depend on. It wouldn't be using Facebook because Facebook.
It's not even about usage though, Chris.
It'd be Meta would
it's-
gain from everything.
It's keeping it safe.
because they're the parent.
That's what
company.
it
It's
is.
keeping it safe.
It's
dude.
not about
like
how many more
funneling the
people-
data into one
Yes.
gathering pool.
Well,
that
more
the
or less
CIA can
like
use.
Facebook seems to me, if you want my honest, Facebook other than Marketplace, that's the only thing I use on Facebook. Really,
Me too.
Facebook to me seems like it's more on a downhill. It's at like a 70-year-old. You know what I mean? It's not got a lot of life left. I think there's going to be new apps that eventually come out that overtake it, just like MySpace. And I think that this isn't so much about getting
Well, that's
more
why they
views.
bought Instagram, dude.
I know, but it's not about getting more viewers per se. It's about just protecting it and making it last longer. You know what I'm saying? And TikTok,
I think they're jealous.
they are jealous.
I think they want the data. They don't want China to have the data. They're like, dude, we want to manipulate our own population, not you.
You know what
Come
needs to,
on,
you know what
man.
needs to happen, right? Someone needs to bring back Vine.
Vine was not
you
great.
think,
though.
Vine
X
is
will do that?
TikTok.
I know, but Vine just wasn't good because it was so like they.
But they could make it like they could take it and make it basically what
but
TikTok
it would be,
is.
it'd be the
Take
same
it and make
shit.
it, baby.
They'd be the
Take
same
it and
Elon
make
said that
it.
he was going to bring back freaking Vine.
I know, but I feel like they would do the same shit, right? Once that grew, and because the problem with
Yeah,
Vine
but
was,
it'd be an American company that would do it.
yeah, but see, they're gonna make an excuse of why. You know what I'm saying? Because Facebook has them. I think if you look at politicians, they
what's
have the
their-
most shares in Facebook.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
But what's the excuse right
Wait,
now?
what'd you say?
Because it's a national
Facebook,
security issue.
I feel like with politicians, probably has the most stock is owned by politicians. Not the most stock.
Dude,
but
yeah,
I'm saying
that's what,
politicians own more stock of Facebook than any other social media. That's my guess.
Yeah, if not politicians, lobbyists. So you have a bunch of lobbyists that are behind this lawsuit and behind this bill
Yeah.
that want this to go through because they're like Facebook lobbyists. And that's what Vivek was talking about. I haven't like verified that,
I agree with you.
but it makes sense.
Yeah, and the other thing is, Chris, you say like, well, it's not. It would be an American company, but who owns Vine if they recreate it?
I have no idea.
Well, Vine,
Who owned Vine before?
I don't know. Is that a thing with Twitter?
Like
It
where
actually
vines grow
might
out
have.
of the
It actually
ground,
might
dude.
have been a thing with Twitter. So then Elon owns it.
But see, my problem.
There you go.
What I'm trying to say is, do they love Elon? Right, because they would find a reason to say, well, Elon's going to because they already.
Yeah,
went
but
on-
the only reason they're doing this now because TikTok poses a national security risk.
I'm just saying though, if it means losing money in stock, they're going to find a reason, and they'll say
That's
Elon
true.
is not able to handle it, or
He's
he's,
a-
bought
he's
out
an
by
extremist.
Russians, or some
Yeah.
bullshit. You know, they'll find something. Man.
It's true.
But think about that is I watched a couple of videos on this. There are so many users of TikTok. Like it is by far the number one app, and it doesn't even come close to like short reel like video.
Yeah.
And when you take away that market, like if the US leaves and can't watch TikTok,
Mhm.
that is it. Like people will leave TikTok. Like they just won't watch TikTok. One, because they can't and they live in the United States. But two, it's just like the reach just won't be there.
Yeah.
There's just not as many people.
I mean, listen, we've talked about TikTok in the past, and like, yes, China is always the concern. You know what I'm saying? Like, it always is, and it should be. They haven't proven that they're very good. You know what I'm saying? As far as how they handle their people and people in general. Like, they want to control data, they want to control information, but at the same time, like, dude, it's grown so much. It is the number. I mean, to me, it's the number one platform. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as information, shorts, funny shit. You know what I mean? It's to me, we always said YouTube was hard to beat. They were so good, right? Like YouTube, you can go to other platforms, but it's not fucking YouTube. Even though YouTube bans everybody and does all this shit, YouTube is just too fucking good. And TikTok is becoming that same thing where it's just too fucking good. You know what I mean? It would be hard to mimic that. It would be hard.
Yeah, I think it would be a big loss. I mean, information, like we just said, like you can get so much information off of TikTok quickly and easily.
Yeah.
And you can't get that anywhere else. I could do a search in TikTok and find something exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you try to do that on YouTube, it's like heavily censored. TikTok is heavily censored too. Like, don't get me wrong.
In its own way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have my TikTok?
I just don't know. My question is like, what is China going to do with the data that our U.S. government is not going to do with the data?
That's a good question.
Like, what's the difference?
Chris?
That's true.
Because
I mean, they spy on us the same as everybody else. So I mean,
yeah, as bad as China is, they want you to believe that they're better, and they're not always better.
Because Chris, you have an article. I mean, you saved at least something in our bookmarks about these electric vehicles stealing our data or using our data and selling it, right?
It was oh shit, I lost it.
You lost it?
I lost it.
There it is. Your car is secretly spying on you and driving your insurance rates through the roof. So what's it say here? Drivers of car manufactured by General Motors, Ford, Honda, and other popular brands say that their insurance rates went up after the company sent data about their driving behavior to issuers without their knowledge.
Yeah. So basically, like we were talking about before, how you're saying everything at OnStar and all that shit. Mm-hmm. They're basically now, they've been recording you if you turn aggressively or you accelerate too hard or you're speeding, and then they take that data and they're selling it off to your insurance companies, and that's why, and then your rates go up.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I living in Houston, I don't even care because there's some terrible drivers, bro. Like, people do stupid shit. You know what I mean? They do stupid shit.
That's true.
I like the idea of, personally, just for me, like if I had a controlled, where they could look at your navigation or something and figure out like how you're driving, how fast you're driving, it'd benefit me. You know, I'm like, it's like that whole, remember that thing? Was it, what insurance company had the little chip that you could put in your car and it would tell you, like, it would
like Allstate or something?
Allstate, or it was like,
had a chip you could put in your car?
They called it that, but they had this thing that you could, with your car, and like, it would see how you were driving. It could lower your interest or your insurance rate.
Exactly.
And it was actually positive because a lot of people drive good. They don't speed. They're doing what they're supposed to. And their insurance rates would go down because they'd be like, they actually, they drive safe, so you get a little discount on your insurance, and who doesn't want a discount? But without telling you they're doing it, that's where it gets fucking ridiculous, right? They were sending information without you knowing, and it was affecting your insurance.
Yeah,
and negatively. So
there was
it can
actually
hurt you or it can benefit.
There was actually a thing down in the comments. There was a guy in there saying he was a lawyer, and he was actually like set up a thing, and he's having people contact him to. They're going to do a lawsuit against
Attorney
him.
Tom. That's his name.
A fucking spider on my face or some shit.
Did you?
I don't know.
What?
Something crawled on me. Maybe a mosquito.
It's a
You'll
ghost
see it on the
tickling
camera,
your balls,
bro.
dude. That's a skeeter tickle.
Creep me out there. Dude, play that. I sent it over to her. I just want to end on the this thing. This is Nancy Pelosi's actual line right here. It's only 8 seconds long, man.
Okay, I want to see those droopers. Let's play.
You can't really see it.
God.
She's wearing that white and red, and it just
come on, droopy.
You call them droopers. That's so gross.
The old milk bags. All right, it might be loud. I don't know.
This is not an attempt to ban TikTok. It's an attempt to make TikTok better. Tic-Tac-Toe, a winner. This is not
What? She's a winner. That was a line out of the century.
I don't even know what that
love
means.
That's dumb. That's what it is. That's fucking dumb right there, dude. That doesn't even.
Tic-Tac/Bowie.
She was because TikTok. She was trying to like
Tic-Tac. Yeah, that's stupid. But I'm going to use that now. Every time I make a good point to someone, I'm just going to say Tic-Tac-Toe.
It's a winner.
Tic-Tac-Toe.
You gotta say it's a winner. You gotta do the line.
Every time I'm in a conversation and my point gets proven, I'm just gonna Tic-Tac-Toe.
Tic-Tac-Toe.
That's a
right down the middle.
Fucking Bruce Lee that shit every time.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Dumb, dude.
Fucking Nancy Pelosi. What is she even doing here?
Just she's
Dude,
barely
politicians. This like the phrases that politicians come up with. It's like, really?
She's
You're gonna
barely-
throw that out there?
Well, it's like they're trying to be hip. They're trying to like, like, oh, this is a good line. Somebody told her like, that's a good one. It make, because get it TikTok or TikTok.
Oh, that's really punny. That's good. Yeah.
No, it's not good. People look at you and go, you're old.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, you're dumb.
Fucking loser.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens with it, man. I hope
right.
that it doesn't go away.
If
because
it does actually get banned,
people are gonna be upset.
well, people are going to be upset for one, but also how many people are going to lose their income because a lot of people make money on income.
A lot, dude.
on TikTok.
And I think it will be banned because the election. And they can't control the data.
Actually, to go one step farther, I think that is, if you want my honest opinion, that's why Trump changed his mind on it. None of the other stuff I believe is probably accurate, whatever he said it was. I think he knew and knows that it's going to get banned because there's not enough support for it. You know what I mean? Biden's going to sign it.
And then he changed his mind as a reverse psychology.
Well, because during election, to Greg's point, he's going to say, I'm the politician who said that we shouldn't ban it because everybody's going to be pissed off.
Free speech.
And so all these fucking tweens and 20-year-olds are going to be like, well, Trump didn't want to ban it.
And
he's gonna. So guess who else doesn't want to ban it though? Nancy Pelosi, Eric Swalwell, all the
Bullshit,
the Chinese spy, Eric Swalwell.
I just want them to do the right thing. No. You're banning
But
it.
Eric Swalwell voted against it. I mean, there's just like
Yeah, but he's not running for president.
Voting against
He's
it
not
too.
running for president. And it is a one-up when you got Trump and Biden, who are going to probably never be on stage again. I'm sure they're not going to debate. But
No.
you have them two. Biden bans it. Trump wanted to keep it, quote unquote. And so people are just going to see that information. Trump wants to keep open platforms, free speech going.
How much of it do you think is just reverse psychology? Like he
Exactly.
knows it needs to go away, so he's going to change his position, so they actually ban it for him.
Yeah, I mean that's like 5D chess move. If you think he's that smart.
Well,
maybe, yeah.
reverse psychology isn't really 5D chess. I do it all the time with my kids.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know if it's. I think the government wants to ban TikTok because they can't have the data.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Right.
Yeah, that's
They
probably
want
part of
data.
it.
They want to know what people do so they can control them. They can monitor them. And if there's an uprising, they can stop it.
You guys, I know we never even talked about it on the show, but you guys followed that gal, Nex or whatever. You remember that girl that she died? You hear about that?
Oh, the transgender girl.
Well, she was the non-binary, whatever.
Yeah,
the fuck.
I just
Wait,
seen it. I'd never heard of her
Who
up
is
until
this
right
girl?
now.
So it was an interesting. It was a push, right? There was an agenda push. This was a couple weeks ago. She was at school. Okay, she's non-binary, whatever the fuck she is, and she was involved in a fight at school, right? And they broke the fight up. They told the nurse, they saw the nurse. The nurse told her like, hey, you should probably go to the hospital and just get a checkup, make sure you're good. She went to the hospital. They released her. There's definitely more data than what I'm giving you right here, but they released her. The next day, she went back to the hospital and she died at the hospital. And so the left was pushing this, far right, that they killed her. Their rhetoric was what killed her. This fight happened because she was non-binary and blah, 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 blah. And so there's a huge agenda push, right? Like the evil right killed this poor 13-year-old girl where the fuck she is. Now, then right after that, the police were like, nah, fuck that. Here's the body cam footage, right? They showed the school footage, her getting in a fight. They showed her walking because they initially said she couldn't even walk, back to the nurse's office. That was not true. She was walking fine to the nurse's office. They showed the
Was it body cam footage or was it camera footage from the school?
This was that was initially cam footage from the school. And then they showed police body cam footage of the hospital. She was at the hospital for a checkup. The police showed up. And they told her on body cam, they said, we'll do whatever you want. If you want to file a whatever for these girls, we can do that. But you started this fight. So, you're probably not going to win anything. Like, we'll file the paperwork for you. But they said, the girls had said something to her. She dumped water on them and then they beat the shit out of her. The guy's like,
far right racists are going to do that. So fuck them.
Well, here's the thing. So apparently after that came out, then the left came out and they said basically her injuries, even though the hospital were evil because they let her go and her injuries ended up killing her. That's what happened, blah, blah, blah. Well, they just came out with the autopsy today and they found out actually she unalived herself after the hospital visit. So she overdosed or she did something to unalive herself.
Nex Benedict. What a
And
name.
So
dude.
it had nothing to do with the far right. It had
No.
nothing to do with the left even. It was the fact that this gal was dealing with some shit and she ended up after this fight deciding that she was going to end it herself.
She was a
Well, I
non-binary.
mean, there's a lot of non-binaries that fall into that offing themselves
You're right.
category.
There's
right?
a lot of non-binary third gender two-spirit member of 2S.
That's what she said,
LGBTQ.
quote, non-binary
Two-spirit.
third gender two-spirit. Member of the 2SLGBTQ. What is
Yeah.
the 2SL?
Two-spirit.
Oh, two-spirit.
I think the two.
Yeah, two-spirit,
2S.
gender queer,
I
whatever.
think 2S is probably two-spirit. I would imagine.
Yeah, she died by
Okay.
offing herself though.
Yeah.
All this shit, all this talk, all this rhetoric going on about how evil and she, you know, and I don't wish that on anybody, right? Something, and that's the problem, is something's wrong with a lot of these people, man. There's something going
Well, dude,
on.
they take that's what the news does is they take one person's problem and they blow it up and then
Yeah.
they politicize the whole thing
Yep.
and then they want everybody to get all upset about it and then you find out, oh, the story wasn't even what they said it was. But by then
Yeah.
it's too late.
Well, and you know, they kept having, because the police, which you've noticed them doing this more often, right? Just in general, not just with these cases, but where they go, we're going to release a body cam quickly so that like all these people that are talking shit have to eat crow within hours, right? And so any police interaction, this situation, they're just like, nah, we're not going to let this stem out, you know, to be this huge thing and wait a couple weeks to release this. And they did. And then all of a sudden, all those people that were saying, well, you know, this, and then they were like, well, no, the hospital actually are the bad ones. They let her go and she had all these internal injuries.
And that ended up being a lie also.
That ended up being a lie also because the autopsy report showed that she unalived herself, which had nothing to do with the hospital. So that's what I'm saying. To me, it's a big story only because it's trending. There's a lot of people talking about it. We didn't even discuss it, but it's one of those situations where they were using it for, you know, bait. you
Yeah.
know?
Dude, you know what else was trending right before we started was Aaron Rodgers is back in the news
Oh, okay. Yeah.
because he said something about the school, like the Sandy Hook.
Oh,
Oh God.
Yeah, he kind of agreed with the whole conspiracy around that.
Well-
And so like now that's going to be in the news like all tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's
dude,
trust me,
I watched him
that's not going away.
on Joe Rogan, and I actually I just had so much more respect for him afterward because I've always thought he was all right. He's a great quarterback. But he always is kind of different, you know. As a Seahawks fan, it was the Packers, you know, and that was a big thing. But
It was that ayahuasca trip, dude.
yeah, man, he like
Opened
really
his third eye.
just such a calm human, and like when he talks, you know, like Cat Williams was kind of jittery and like
Dude, I watched that. I listened
I
to
don't
that
know,
Cat
man.
Williams episode.
You're gonna tell me
That
that's something
guy-
that I don't know.
Like
Yeah.
I already said that I didn't really care. I don't care for his comedy.
Sure.
But just trying to listen to him talk,
Mhm.
I'm like, dude, fucking
You couldn't
spit
do it.
whatever the fuck you're thinking, spit it out.
I kind of liked it. I gotta
You
be honest
can't.
with you.
He couldn't finish a single fucking thought.
Yeah, I kind of liked it though, because to me it's the same with Elon Musk, where like you could tell he was like thinking about how to say it the right way. and
No,
it took
no,
time.
no. There's a bunch of
No?
stuff where he's like, well, and then this happened, and then you.
Well, I think
I'm looking
I know,
crazy.
but
And
to
there's
me-
so
Looking
much
crazy.
of that where he just like, and then
yeah,
and he just stops talking.
But-
and you're just like,
but you get
what
it.
the what do you mean?
Did you not get it? I got it. I understood the point he was making. Like he was saying, like, do I need to say more? And I get it.
But it's
I
like,
understand
does
it.
Cat Williams really know a lot, or are we just pretending that he's like this knowledge?
No,
pool?
listen, there was
You know what I
there was a couple things in there that he had mentioned that I had not heard before personally, right? I'm not saying I know you're more invested, Greg, than I am in a lot of those things, but you even sent it to me when he was talking about the whole black hole and like the, you know,
That was a mind blower.
that was a mind blower.
I was like,
bro.
dude.
I was like,
Yeah,
I
he said
never thought of it that way.
the black holes were hell.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? That
And
makes
he
sense.
talks
Because I
about-
mean,
I
Yeah.
must have missed that.
absence of light.
Was that
it
like
sucks
was that
everything
like
in
a
it,
really
dude.
quick part of it? Because I must have.
That was
missed that
pretty
part.
quick, but there
It
was
was
a
quick.
few things in there that I thought were, and like you could tell. And listen, he was, who knows how many books the man's actually read, but the guy obviously does like to read, and he
20
obviously
books a day.
he reads a lot apparently. But the point is
Apparently, we'll see about that. I don't
listen,
know.
I enjoyed the way that he talked about things. I enjoyed hearing a celebrity.
I just
quote-unquote, do it.
hated the fact that the way he was talking, he made it seem like he was like about to release some crazy shit, and
Yeah, like he was a highly intellectual,
He'd be
you know?
done for if he finished saying what
Yeah.
he was about to say, and that drove me nuts.
Yeah. Listen,
Well,
man.
you know, there's those podcasts, and I was actually just thinking about this. Like Joe Rogan is known to have a shitload of podcasts that no one will ever listen to. Well, I shouldn't say no one, but the majority of people, they just don't click. You know what I mean? Like they don't catch on in the news.
Oh, yeah.
But like the Cat Williams one got there, like the Alex Jones ones get there.
Sure.
There's like the UFO stuff will get there, you know?
Yeah. I mean, he does. Listen, just being on TikTok, like his shorts and stuff that are put up or other people, they get a lot of views, man, on any of the people that he has. They
do.
So the secondary market for Joe Rogan is pretty successful as well, right? But I thought, listen, I get it. I get what you're saying. I thought it was interesting, just because, you know, he was talking about stuff that a lot of people won't talk about. You know, at minimum, he was saying some things that the general public does not talk about. You know what I mean? That's where I was at with it.
I don't know. Maybe I couldn't follow him.
I get you. I understand.
Like I was just like waiting for him to finish like what he's saying, and he wouldn't ever finish what he's saying, and then like it would just be like, I'm just like, can you elaborate? Like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, there was a lot of emotion behind it, at least artificial emotion behind it, where he's like,
Yeah,
You know
right?
what I'm saying?
Yeah, he does those little sounds.
It's like, are you
know what I'm
crying?
saying,
Are
Joe?
you shedding a tear?
like
Are you like
Joe would ask him like about a certain particular thing he said, and he'd just be like,
he was high too, though, bro. He was super high, bro. He was very high.
I'm just like,
this is marijuana talk. Is this marijuana talk?
like
Joe?
I could sit through the
Come
Elon
on.
Musk episode
Yeah.
because there was a long
Well,
pauses.
Chris, just speed it up.
Yeah,
You
you
just
might
gotta
need
speed
to
it up,
yeah,
dude.
but that one might be a good one to put on 2-speed. I'm
Yeah,
not for
maybe.
the two
Maybe.
times, but that one might have been a good one, dude.
But the Elon Musk one, at least like there'd be some long pauses, but then when he came in, he'd have a full thought, and he wouldn't leave you with like, but what about you didn't finish this thing?
Yeah,
he would do that, and then
Elon was hard to
but
listen
with
to.
Cat Williams, it was like there was those long pauses, but also you didn't get anything from it.
I started Elon's back when that came out on just audio. I just put it on the audio, and I was like, this is fucking. So I watched the video because I put it on Spotify in the video, and I was like, it's more tolerable because I can see that he's actually moving. Because otherwise, you think that he
Yeah, you have to
stroked out
see
for
him
a minute,
think.
you know? Yeah, dude.
That's true.
Yeah,
there was a bunch of times where Joe would ask Elon a question, and he'd just be like,
Oh, boy.
It's uncomfortable.
Oh, boy.
It's
just
uncomfortable.
sit there for a while.
It's really uncomfortable, actually. Yeah, dude. Yeah. You got anything? I got some more stuff. I don't know what you got, though.
Yeah, I sent over some weird articles. Like the titles caught me, and I'm like, okay. I didn't really get time to explore them.
Okay.
We'll explore
But-
them together.
That's what I would like to do. This one that was absolutely bizarre was this Kentucky student. She was found like not breathing in her dorm room for 23 minutes. She was 21 years old. And she had cuts, bruises, and her acrylic nails were ripped off. But the police have no idea what happened to her.
Huh.
Did she die?
Now, paramedics
Wait.
told her parents that she stopped breathing. She suffered deep gashes, swollen legs, had her nails ripped off. And I'm like, what? So how does this happen, dude?
First question. If they found her in her dorm room, how did they know she had stopped breathing for 23 minutes?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually.
I don't know. Do they have the knowledge of that? They must have called Cat Williams. They're like, Cat, how long is this chick not breathing? 23 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
That doesn't make sense that they have that information and yet there was no one else there. Did she pass away or did she not?
No. So she's alive.
Okay.
And it says her father, Andy Willingham, did not believe the explanation provided by the authorities. There's no way these could have been caused by anything other than someone doing something to her, they said.
Oh, so she must have stopped breathing after they had gotten there. Because it says right here, the paramedics told her parents she had stopped breathing.
Well, so at 11 o'clock at night, we get a call from the resident director of her dorm, and she tells us that Bella is in an ambulance on her way to the emergency room, and that she'd been found unresponsive on the floor of her room by her roommate. The student spent 2 weeks recovering in the University of Kentucky hospital while her father waited for blah, 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 blah. But like he's kind of going off saying like the campus is like this dangerous place. How could the school not really know exactly what happened?
That was the quote. As a parent, I want to know if there's a possibility of someone coming into the school or campus being potentially dangerous. But here's the thing, like if you look at listen, we've all seen murder documentaries or like, you know, attacks or essay assaults or any of that stuff, right? That's assault is in there, I guess. But either way, the swelling of the hands and the swelling of the legs almost sounds like.
Well, the hands look like they were almost broken or something.
Well,
did you show them?
Yeah, we.
Well, I didn't.
But no, I'm just saying that looks like almost like an allergic reaction. You know, like the puffiness of the hands and. Like,
but how did the nails fall off or rip off?
Here's the thing.
You know,
I'll get there. You see,
that's the hand.
It's puffy. It's definitely puffy, and there's marks on the top of her hand.
So that looks like it was probably smashed or something.
Yeah.
I don't know though, because she's not. Listen. If her hand was smashed, they're not holding her down. See how they're restraining her? Look at the bed right there. She's restrained.
She's restrained. That's true.
Why is she restrained?
Dude, can you play that video? Maybe it'll it's like scroll down and then you'll see the news video right there. Yeah, play this. Let's listen to what they have to say here. Because it's just bizarre how they don't
on
know.
A story we brought you from Asbury University back in December when authorities say a student was found unresponsive in her dorm room.
That's a killer
and
mustache.
placed in the ICU with mysterious injuries.
The student's dad is now speaking out about how he feels the university could have done more to aid in the investigation. I caught up with him today.
When Andy Willingham dropped his daughter Bella off on Asbury University's campus, the place where he studied and met his wife, hopes were high.
They've never been anything but good, and they still are
never been anything
good as far as the institution goes.
But the impression of his alma mater shifted in November. When she returned to campus after Thanksgiving, the Willinghams didn't hear from their daughter for hours.
Resident director of her dorm, and she tells us that Bella is in an ambulance on her way to the emergency room, that she had been found unresponsive in her dorm on the floor by her roommate.
Okay. So unresponsive.
We can stop it.
So there is I don't know for sure, but I imagine it wouldn't be that hard for just people just to go in. It's a dorm room. It's not like it's a secured facility, and especially if
you just wait for somebody to leave and then you just piggyback in, dude.
Or if somebody went in with you.
Sure. But I got to be honest with you. Listen, I don't know. As a father myself, I would obviously ask all these questions. I'm not criticizing him. He wants to make sure that nothing happened. Right?
Well, yeah.
But I'm just saying, if you look at the injuries, if you look at the swelling, the fact that she was tied to the bed is a little interesting to me. What that would tell me is like, was she seizing? Was she having seizures? Now, here's the thing. If you fall out of your bunk bed and you're seizing up.
Is there bunk beds in dorm rooms?
I don't know. Did she say she fell out of her bed or something? Whatever it was. My point is if you're seizing, you can move around, you can scrape yourself. She could have, think about like the burn, like the carpet burns that she had on her knees. And it's probably not from the other thing that we're all thinking.
What?
I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, was she seizing? Was she doing stuff on the floor, like moving around the floor? Did she like rip her nails off trying to grab herself on like, who knows what was going on? Have you ever seen somebody seize up or have a seizure?
Yeah.
I had somebody do that in my house. I didn't even know. Remember that shit? And so like I saw a woman seizing and she was like moving around. She was like grabbing at stuff. Like maybe she pulled
and she was on the bunk bed, they said. So maybe she flew off the bunk bed. But it said like multiple deep gashes. So something cut her.
Well, I mean, listen.
And ripped her nails off, dude. I mean, like
the nails.
You don't do that with your seize.
I don't know.
Well, you could. Like if you're like on the floor or something and you're seizing and you're just fucking
maybe.
Oh my God, I don't even want to think about
like that could happen.
Or was she trying to like pick herself up, like grabbing the bed rails and like, who knows? I'm just saying those nails aren't impossible to come off, man. Let's just be real.
They're not.
Like they can pop off, but I'm not. And she's alive. Too.
That would be a good question too. There were acrylic nails, right? So were the acrylic nails just broken off, or did like her fingernails actually get ripped off?
Look at her nails. Her nails are
Danielson asked, "Is it possible that the nails popped off because of the swelling?"
It doesn't even look like.
I don't know about that.
It doesn't even look like.
So her fingernails are all there.
Yeah,
it looks like just the acrylics came off. So that could have been from anything.
But why is she strapped down?
Yeah, I don't know. She is strapped in.
That they don't just strap people in at the hospital unless you're like, moving a lot or like
you're a risk to.
Was it because to like prevent her from using her hand for anything? Like It was so
No,
injured
because
that they're like,
If
hey,
it
we
was
wanna
if
strap
it was
this down so she
injured,
doesn't use it.
if it was injured, they wouldn't strap it.
Nope.
They wouldn't strap you to your
And-
injured limb.
And if she actually had broken hand or something and she was in the hospital, they would have put a temp cast on that thing to make sure she's not breaking it further, right? Like
Yeah.
they're not going to,
Yeah.
if she has a broken hand, I would think that they're not putting a strap around her wrist where she moves.
No.
She's
Well, they
breaking more
probably
shit.
are investigating this and thinking that she's, suicidal, dude. Like, how else
don't
would you look
know.
at this?
I would look at this as, what did you eat? Like, what kind of allergic reactions did you have? That swelling all over the body is interesting. It could be a different ailment, right? Like she might have had.
Yeah, but
Does she have
that doesn't
diabetes?
explain like the scratches and the like all this shit.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's definitely like there's definitely a lot of. I understand where the father's coming from. There's a lot of like nicks and bruises and scrapes. But she's alive. That's the one thing. She's alive. If something happened, you would think that like, yeah, some dude came into my room. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you could
Like,
ask her, right?
Yeah, you would be able to.
She's unconscious right now, right? Like, well, according to when we're reading this, she was like not conscious.
For 23 minutes, yeah.
Well, she wasn't breathing for 23 minutes.
Oh,
supposedly.
Okay, yeah. So they found her unconscious. Yeah. So,
So
that's another thing.
I
is, like,
imagine they're going to be waiting around for when she wakes up, and then they're going to say, "What the fuck happened to you?"
she's already awake, I think.
Whitney says dorm rooms typically have loft beds. So
Oh, okay.
that's the thing.
I've
is
never
like,
been in a dorm room.
Oh, I feel like I was a long time ago, but I don't even remember if that's true.
You've seen.
You don't even know if that's true if
No,
you've been in one.
I've been in one. Well, I'm just thinking like way back in the day. Like I feel like I have, but I wouldn't bet my life on it. You know what I mean?
Huh.
But yeah, so apparently she has no memory of what happened.
Well,
So she had a head injury also then.
Could be, and the other thing that they're going to do, obviously, is like a toxicology report. Like, did she have?
Yeah.
Was she drugged? Did she have something in her system that shouldn't have been there?
Yeah, this could have been a thing where she may have been out and about.
Yeah.
And then she got fucked up and something happened to her, and then they fucking just threw her in the room
And also,
left her.
they're going to talk to other students. Did you see her with anybody else? What, you know, where's she at before this? Like, they're going to find out one way or the other. But listen, I understand the father's take. He wants to make sure his sweet little girl's taken care of and that she wasn't injured by some other person. And that's fair. But like, it also could possibly be explained by something else. You know, it could. So
It could be. But you'd think that the dorm would have security cameras.
in the halls, yeah, you would think so. Yeah. And they probably do.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a weird one.
My guess is, I'm just guessing here,
Mm.
that she was out with people. Something happened, and they just fucking dropped her off.
Maybe. And those are carpet burns for the
shit.
reason we were all thinking.
Well, I'm not saying something like that happened. I don't know. But I'm like, somebody fucked her up, obviously. I think somebody fucked her up, and they were just like, fucking throw her in there and we'll leave her.
I don't know.
Jeez,
Hopefully
dude.
nothing happened. They do the talks. There's like, what was in the report? And they said semen, lots of semen.
Or somebody,
I'm just kidding.
Or maybe somebody that she knew found her and like just brought her to her room.
I've seen like when people have really bad seizures and the amount of movement that can happen and the amount of flailing that can happen can lead to injuries, right? Like if she fell off a bed and she was hitting herself on a dresser, hitting herself on a nightstand, like it's open right now. It can happen. Absolutely. For sure.
Yeah. Whitney in the chat says, she got wasted, fell out of her bed. Alcohol poisoning and roofied.
Yeah.
Roofie, dude.
Roofie. No, joking.
Yep. Roofie.
I mean, that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in college.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
that's what happens.
we'll keep our eyes on the story and just see what happens. I'm just, lucky she's alive. Hopefully
Yeah, no, I'm
she
listen,
solves that.
Joking aside, like we obviously want her to get well and then be able to tell. Hopefully she remembers and she can figure out what happened. The dad can have ease of mind because that's a terrible situation.
Oh yeah, especially for a dad, you don't know
Yeah.
your daughter's fucked up and you have no idea what the fuck happened.
Yeah,
It's like hopeless.
That's rough, dude. Dude, I was gonna tell you guys. I had a interesting on Monday after the podcast. I talked to Chris.
Oh yeah,
but Brew is fucking wild, bro. It was wild.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
So-
but
What?
not much different than.
Oh, no, just tell the story.
Okay,
Just tell the story.
I haven't seen this firsthand. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it wasn't like I wasn't in the room, obviously, but
Yeah.
like you'll get it. First of all, Conroe Police had a busy night that night. That was what, Monday night, right? And we were here
Okay.
till about 11:30. So I got to my house at 11:30. Okay. So anyways, I pull down, you turn onto our street and there's kind of a straightaway that goes into our community. You know what I'm saying? So I'm driving down the street and I get to the stop sign.
And you can either go right or left.
Well, and I actually didn't go all the way to the stop sign. I stopped before it because I was looking for something on my phone and it was late. No one's out. So I just was stopping. I was looking at my phone. And then there's this car that drove in front of me. And so I just waiting and I look in the mirror behind me and I see like 3 cop cars, like with their lights on, like coming down
and
the
Dave's
street.
going, oh shit.
And I was going like, fuck, I didn't do anything that bad. Right. So I turned into my street and I went and parked in my house and I heard continuous cop cars. And I was like, what the fuck? And I could see the lights starting to like light up the whole area. Right. So I walked down the street just kind of towards the end and I noticed that they kept coming. There was quite a few. So I went into the house, went back into the house, dropped off my stuff, went to the back porch, which I have a straight shot to this area. And I looked and I was like, fuck, there's maybe 20 cop cars and 2 fire trucks and a couple ambulances. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on over here? It's on the other community over there. Well, come to find out, like this was going on. I ended up going back over to the street, to the corner where it was at, because I wanted to get a good look. And some neighbors that I hadn't met, which I met, they were there standing. They're like, yeah, there's.
It just becomes a big group thing.
Yeah. Well, it was funny.
Watching.
It was just the 3 of us, but they were like it was a man and a woman. They're married. They actually live like 2 houses away from us. They're probably my age, and they're a black couple. And they're like, well, we ain't going over there. We're black. And I thought it was kind of funny.
Oh, that's funny.
But regardless, he said, yeah, we were watching them come in too, and we stopped counting at like 15 cops or 17 cops. They just kept coming. So anyways, I was like, well, we'll see.
Slow down, baby.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I was like, if they're here for a couple hours and it's something significant, right? It has to be. So I stayed up and I was on the phone. Everybody's asleep. And I just sat there by the window and they were there and they were there and they were there for like 3 hours. And I'm like, what the fuck is this about? Right. So come to find out, there was a domestic violence call at this house. And 2 police officers showed up to the house. They got to the house. They knocked on the door. No one answered, but they could hear a woman screaming inside. And so they kicked the door down. The man was like beating this woman and he had a weapon. They tried to de-escalate the situation, tried. And then he pointed the weapon at the cops and they gunned his ass down. I mean, they killed him on the spot.
Dang,
and so that was the police presence. But what I found out is that an hour before that, because I was trying to look on the, Facebook and other shit, trying to figure out like what's going on at this location. An hour before that, there was a police killed another man in Conroe at a gas station. He was doing like a armed burglary, and they saw him doing the assault. They caught him doing the armed burglary, and he pointed the gun at the cops and they shot him. So I'm like, damn, they fucking 2 for 2, baby.
They're busy.
But what I thought was the coolest, well, it was a crazy scene because I've never seen that many cops in person. I've never seen that. It looked like Vegas, bro. You know those videos we saw of Vegas?
Look like the Miami Mall aliens.
Oh yeah.
But what I thought was actually just something that I wasn't used to is when I did get on Facebook, they put out a statement about it and everything. And there was multiple comments, right? Like 30, 40, 50 comments, whatever it was, a lot. And every single comment was like, good for the police. I'm so proud of them. They took down a bad guy. And I'm like, yes, there's none of that fucking fuck the police. None of that shit, bro. Because they just know you point a gun at a cop, there's a good chance to get shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. I'm sorry. I feel no remorse. But I went over there the next day. I wanted to see what house it was. So I drove by and they had a white van that said, it had the sticker on it that said like, waste, and it said, clean up, so it was probably pretty messy.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
But
we need to get the cleanup crew.
That house's value just went down a lot.
Yeah, well, it was one of the smaller houses.
Yeah, they just created a new ghost.
Yeah, man.
Ooh.
The other thing,
violent ghost.
The other thing I found out because I started getting interested in this, like I was like, damn, that's crazy. The lady that I met, the neighbor, she's like, yeah, what's even crazier is the neighborhood next to ours, which is like a very nice neighborhood. You know what I'm talking about? The gated community, very big home. She's like, yeah, there's a house like 4 houses away from us right now on the other side of the fence. She's like, there's a Netflix documentary on. You should watch it. And I was like, really? Okay.
About that house?
There was a triple homicide. And the man, they did a documentary about this. Was in 2001. They did a documentary about it because the documentary is about the death sentence. And this kid that killed these 2 boys and this mom, he got the death sentence. He got the death penalty. He was actually, he was killed. And they were talking about like, is it justifiable to kill a human being over this? And I'm watching this documentary because I was interested. And I was like, yeah, 100%. This guy like just killed this woman for he wanted her car. She had a Camaro and he wanted the Camaro.
Off him.
So she killed his son and her friend to get the code to get into the gated community, then tricked the mom to let him in the house, use the phone, and killed her so he could take the car.
Yeah, that guy deserves
to die.
Yeah.
Yikes. Well, that's a crazy story, dude.
Yeah, man.
Glad you're okay.
I
Glad you didn't get shot by the cops.
You know, I sent it to Chris.
Involve him.
No, I sent it to Chris. I was like, dude, this shit's like, it was loud, bro. The sirens. You know, when you have that many cops and it's a quiet neighborhood, it's fucking loud. You know what I mean? Like my kids got up. They're like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. I thought it was like a meth lab. Who knows? You know, like what was happening over there. But
hopefully not a meth lab.
Well,
Damn.
hopefully not. I'm glad it was just a idiot that got killed.
Kablamo.
You know what I mean? I'm cool.
Well,
with
they
it.
saved somebody's life.
They did. The girl had no injuries because they fucking killed him. I'm cool with it. I am honestly cool with it.
Was it a gun he pointed at them?
They didn't say. I'm assuming so.
Mm.
Because they said that he
I
pointed
bet you it was
the
a
weapon.
finger gun. You know what I mean? Like that. Like,
Yeah.
Pew pew.
Yeah.
No, shoot him.
Why
No,
play
just
around
kidding.
with that shit though? You know, like I still will never understand like why do that? Like you know the consequences.
Probably wanted to die, dude. I mean, suicide by cops a real deal.
Unless he was just hammered and was like wanting to beat up his wife. People are like that.
Yeah, man.
I seen a video.
Well, rest in peace,
I seen a
bitch.
video in a headline the other day about a guy, kind of the same thing, where he was hammered drunk, just big guy. I don't remember where it was. I think it was like Missouri,
Missouri,
something like that. I don't remember. But the guy was like, he was a big guy, and he was hammered drunk and got pissed off at his wife, and was like, I think he found out she was cheating on him or something.
That'll do it. That'll do something.
And she was recording him as he was pointing a shotgun at her and was like crying and screaming at her. And then, he's going to prison.
Oh, he killed her.
Yeah.
Dude, that just happened the other day. I just saw it the other day. This guy found out or heard that his girlfriend was cheating on her. His wife was cheating on him. Took a gun. Was like, you're going to tell me what the fuck happened. Like, I know what happened. You need to tell me that it happened. And she said, no. He went, this is terrible. He went into her son's room, 7-year-old, pointed the gun at this kid's head and said, if you don't tell me, I'm going to kill this kid. And she says,
what the hell?
She said, please don't do that. And he fucking shot him. Shot the kid in the head.
No way.
Yep. He's in prison right now. He's going to get the death penalty, I'm sure. How fucking insane
He better.
Is that? How insane is that?
That kid had nothing to do with anything.
Nothing to do with it. But he knew, I think in his head,
that's gross.
he knew that if he did that she would admit to it, but she didn't. So who knows if she did, if she actually did.
Yeah, maybe he was just suspecting something and nothing was ever happening.
That's how sick people are, man. Like, that's how sick people are. I just saw a news article on the way here that said Provo, is it Utah? Provo, Utah?
I don't know.
A mom and a dad in Provo were just arrested because the dad was sleeping with the teenage daughter. And she said that he's been doing
his daughter.
His daughter. He's been doing it for years. They arrested him. The mom and the dad admitted that they allowed that to happen because it was safer than her sleeping with other men.
What?
Oh my God.
That's
what?
How fucking sick people are.
Just shouldn't be parents. You know what I mean?
That's how sick people are. Well, I don't want you sleeping with other boys, and it would be safer for you to sleep with your father. That's
Gross.
fucking gnarly, dude. That's fucking, that kid needs to be locked up for life.
Yeah.
Both
I mean,
of them.
some people don't.
And the mom too.
shouldn't live.
The fucking dad and the mom need locked
She
up.
said that she knew about it, and that's the agreement that they came upon, was that it would be safer for her to learn with her father than strangers.
That's so fucked.
It's
Yeah,
so
they shouldn't
screwed
be
up.
parents.
Oh my God,
dude. I don't want to change the subject because this is such a lightheartening topic that we're on, but like I saw something that was actually concerning because I live in Washington State, and I sent over this article about an underwater volcano that could blow in weeks.
In weeks?
Yeah, they're saying it's an impending eruption off. Well, I mean, they always say this kind of shit to like scare people, but it's like,
yeah, but I haven't heard a lot of weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Usually
right?
like in the future, but weeks is like, you may know a little more than you want to tell us. Okay. What the fuck?
Yeah. So this is, you had 200 earthquakes in one single hour.
Oh, geez.
Right. Yeah. So scientists over at the University of Washington, these geologists were like, it's in the Wandaruka Ridge. So it's up by Seattle area. And they provided this map, and it's like this surface area that would be impacted by this tsunami zone is massive. Like it would extend all the way through Tacoma, Olympia, Seattle, Puget. I mean, if you look at this, it might actually go up to where Flex just moved. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I will say this: I just the kind of the bullet points on the article
danger zone
says that it doesn't seem like it's going to pose any threats at all, and they said like they're actually excited because they'll be able to see new seafloor being developed.
Oh, the magmatic rupture. That was my porn name.
Then why would they even put this out?
Well,
if they don't suspect it even happening.
No, they expect it to happen. They just
but why would they the tsunami danger zone? If they don't expect this to happen, why even put that out?
Well, I mean,
it could happen.
It could
you never
happen.
know.
That's what I'm saying. I think they're showing like, listen, if it's bigger than we think, this could be a danger zone. But
so they have no fucking idea.
They said they're not. Go up. What's it say right there? Go up. Keep going to the very top. It says an impending eruption offers scientists an opportunity to see new seafloor form. Officials have emphasized that the volcano eruption is unlikely to pose a threat.
Yeah,
that doesn't.
And they've been talking about this underwater volcano for a long time, dude. There's like this something near the Puget Sound. There's like this what is it called? The rift between the two plates, right? There's a big crack right there. A fault line. Is that what they call that?
Yeah.
And they've been saying that that's going to just rip
plates.
anytime now.
Yeah, dude,
yeah, tectonic chronic, baby. It's gonna submerge the West Coast.
Tectonic.
Yeah, I understand.
Is this climate change propaganda?
Well,
probably.
I mean, I think we see. I know you're saying so. What I'm saying was, I think this happens. I think we've seen tons of volcanoes underwater. They filmed volcanoes, and sometimes they just put out some shit, you know.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, with what Rainier that they were talking about for years, that Rainier's due for a fucking, major fucking kabooey.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
and it's be like bigger than St. Helens was, or bigger than fucking.
It would probably be a violent one. But my thing would be, is there any possibility that underwater one, because it's near Seattle, could that trigger a Rainier eruption? Possibly.
Yeah, because the shit moves, dude. Like right down here in the article, it says, in the case of the Juan de Fuca Ridge, this rupture will be the result of two plates pulling apart from one another, opening a gigantic crack for magma to flow out at about 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit. So if that shift happens over on the west part of the state, what's going to happen in the middle of the state?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely something to keep your eye on, but it's fear porn. Like because like the initial like reaction of you seeing the article, you're like, what? Giant underwater volcano? What's going on? But then they're like, no fear. You know, like 3 paragraphs in. Don't worry about it.
No, nothing's going to happen. Don't worry. Don't move.
Yeah, we don't actually think anything's going to happen.
Yeah, we don't think. But deep down, they're actually having meetings right now going like, shit's going to go down.
We are fucked.
We're fucking fucked, dude. The Space Needle is gone, baby. You know what I mean?
God.
That's what they're saying.
Seattle will be buried once again.
You ever watch those shows where like the government's like, we can't tell the people what's happening. We gotta wait.
Exactly.
That makes you wonder. Like, are they doing that right now? Are they going like, this is a big fucking problem?
Like they made that.
That's what they did with Ohio, dude.
Yeah.
The Ohio train derailment.
They made
everything's fine. Stay in your houses. It's fine to breathe and drink the water.
That's why they made that tsunami zone map. Is like they're telling you without actually having to tell you.
Like, give it to them so that they can understand. Like, it's not really a possibility, but if they, then we'll tell people.
They're avoiding
we gave you a
karmic
map.
debt. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, dude. God, that's wild, man. That's funny. It's like a
I don't know.
safety
We'll
thing,
see. I mean, they've been saying this shit. Like this always happens like every couple years or so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get you.
Massive, but like 200 earthquakes in 1 hour.
That's a lot, dude.
That
like
is a lot.
That is that telltale sign that like something's a
brewing.
brewing. You know what I'm saying? That's like when you fart a lot, that means you got a shit coming. You know what I'm saying? And
What
it's
is
about
this?
ready to shit.
The frequency though, if you go back to that article, Chris, and go down to the frequency graph.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It'll show you the intensity is definitely not there. I mean, it's there for a couple of them, but it's like it shows you like a time bar, right? Or a time chart of like,
it comes down a lot.
Yeah. So like the higher the peak, the more intense that quake is.
It looks like Biden's numbers from inauguration. You know what I'm saying? Like, pretty
really
solid
high.
than just tanks all the way.
Yeah,
to,
Mother Nature knows what's going on.
Yeah, you were looking at those
88
pictures,
million
man.
or something? 80 million?
Those pictures
Who the
you're
hell
looking
knows?
at underwater, those are sea turds. I don't know if
Sea
you ever-
turds.
Yeah, that's what comes
Sea
out
turds.
of the volcano, and it's like feces.
The shit of the sea.
No, come on.
Yeah, that's what it is right there.
Mm.
Juan de Fuca Ridge.
Dude, that would be crazy to see magma form like a turd. It would look like a turd.
Yeah,
coming
because
out
as
of
soon as
the
it's
freaking
like
crack of
red
the
hot,
diarrhea, dude.
and then as soon as it hits the water, it like solid.
It just turns into
it just keeps building upon
it. It just
itself.
goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like one of those
It would
fireworks.
look like one of those snake fireworks.
Yeah,
You know
that's
those
what I
snake
just-
fireworks?
Yeah. Snakes and sparklers. That's my favorite.
Snakes.
There you go. Okay. Well, anyway.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. Well, hopefully you don't have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully for your
Well,
sake.
I mean,
you
we'll
don't have
see
to
in a
deal
few
with
weeks, right?
Yeah. I mean, I won't be impacted. It might be flex, but you never know.
that. I think Flex is good, man. I think he's good. Seattle might not be good, you know. But let's be real. Seattle needs a good washing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's dirty.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's fucking dirty.
Get the hobos off that street.
The streets need pressure wash, and that will do the job. You know what I'm saying? And they'll probably actually be happy afterward. Like, we didn't have to pay anybody to do this. You know what I mean? It's good.
Oh yeah,
That's
dude.
true.
You're like right outside the danger zone.
Yeah, I'm outside the danger zone,
Like,
so I'm good.
It goes down to like
Olympia.
a Centralia area.
What sucks about that, though, is you're going to get a lot of refugee action.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
We're going
What
to
do
have
you
like
mean?
a lot of people coming. Well, if people like are leaving, evacuating, they're going to be like, any port in a storm, we need shelter. We need to have a hotel room. We need to use your stadiums. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Because, like, I mean, even if you look at Seattle, the Seahawks Stadium or the baseball field, like, they're like fucking sea level right by the water, bro. Like, those things are flooded out. You ain't using that shit. It's not going to be like the Superdome or whatever in Louisiana. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where they hunkered everybody in there. Not
Yeah,
there.
so the Tacoma Dome's gone. The frickin' the Clink, that's going to be gone.
Yeah, man. They just
The
put everybody
sea-
on Mount Rainier, and then that blows, and they're fucking screwed. Now everybody's just like, no, you know.
The Needle, though, the Needle might be poking out. People might just go up to the Needle.
That's true.
If they think
There's not enough room
that's
there,
true.
bro. There's no room in that fucking space.
It'd be like the Space Needle would end up being the door from the Titanic.
There you go. Yeah.
There's people just hanging on to the post like, no.
I
There's
don't know if I
room.
would
There's
trust
room.
that.
You fuck.
But would the Space Needle withstand the tsunami waves? That thing would tip over, wouldn't it?
Well, the good thing
I don't
is
know.
that it's not solid. It has 3 points. I think if there's multiple points of, so the water could run through it and not have as much of an impact.
I
you know
bet
what I'm saying?
the top would break off and it'd just float away like an arc.
You see it just fly like a UFO,
Yeah.
and somebody's like, "Oh my god, we're getting attacked!" Oh, it's a Space Needle.
The wave hits it and it goes.
Yeah, and Elon goes,
Damn, dude.
"Good idea." No, you're fucking. All right, man,
We have
that's
to
good.
watch The Simpsons to see if they predicted this.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I like that. Band says Flex ain't scared of no volcano. He does it every day. You know.
Oh, yeah, he does suck one down, doesn't he?
Oh, that's good
Oh,
stuff, man.
jeez.
Good stuff, dude. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
good.
Fun show.
Good show, guys.
Good
Love it.
show.
Glad I could make it on time. Miss you guys. Miss
Hell
everybody
yes. Glad to have you, Dave.
Sure.
All right, everybody. Well, yeah, get on Patreon. Suck it. No. Just support the show. Get on Patreon.
Yeah.
Have fun with us on the live chat. Everybody's
we'll
reading
see
it up.
everybody
It's good
Friday. Friday.
Yeah.
Patreon live, right?
Yes, buddy.
Live it is. All right,
Hell
Friday.
yeah.
All right, man. You guys have a good one. Cheers to you.
Later, guys.
Peace.